My book, Sit Down to Rise Up: How Radical Self-Care Can Change the World, aims to connect the inner work with the outer world. So what does that mean? That means that when you're solely focused on doing the inner work, creating an awakening, looking for a shift to happen in your own life, it's really important to not just isolate that work on its own, but to really connect it to the outer world. What is happening in the outer world, whether it's in your own life, in your own community, in your family, or, in the world at large. There is so much happening in the world at large. There are daunting problems that I think many of us feel too small to fix. So this book aims to give you the tools that you need to not only go on that inner journey, but to actually translate all the work that you're doing on that inner journey to helping to solve the world's problems, starting with your community. One of my favorite words in Tibetan is gom, Gom. And the meaning of that phrase is familiarization. So to me, what radical self-care means is it means a radical willingness to have a familiarization with ourselves, with our community's needs, and also with the world's needs. And so there's this really interesting through line between the inner journey, which is the me journey, and the we journey, which is the communal journey, really, tending to and being in touch with your circles of influence within your community. And then the us journey being what's happening in the world, what's happening outside of your community, and how does what's happening in your community and then in your home actually affect the state of the world. And so radical self-care means taking that responsibility. If you're going to go on that inner journey, if you're going to sit on that cushion, or you're going to do yoga, or tend to yourself in any number of ways, then you need to know that it is then your responsibility, when you are on that journey to heal, to actually make sure that you help to heal others as well. Let's start with the premise that the best version of the world starts with the best version of us, each one of us, you and me. And so I want to read you a paragraph directly from the chapter Showing Up in my book, because I think it illustrates beautifully how this is all connected. It bears repeating. We cannot truly show up for others if we do not show up for ourselves first. There is an undeniable and intricate connection between our inner work and the outer world, but also, just as importantly, our personal example of showing up for ourselves can ignite and inspire others to do the same in their own lives. And part of showing up means taking the risk to be part of others' lives. Just being present for someone is a deeply divine act, something that I believe is the ultimate gift we were made to share with others. And I think that that's really an important cornerstone to answer the question, because when we show up for ourselves, when we are dedicated to doing that inner work, to be more whole, to be more awakened, to be more present, we are able to bring all of those qualities to every single person we touch in our lives on a daily basis, whether it's somebody that we are related to, somebody that we work with, or even someone that we're just having this transactional experience with. And it's incredibly important because it sets this, energy, this force in motion, and inspires other people to rise up in the same manner, to be present and whole. It kind of calls people to the mat and shows them what is possible. The two most important things, or the things that I hope that are the biggest insights and takeaways in this book for people, is that the most important thing in life that we can do is to simply show up consistently and persistently, and to show up as whole as we can and as intentionally as we can, and be as present as we can. And the other part of it is that I want to be able to prove to people that one person can really make such a huge impact in this world, and that we are all that one person. Every single one of us is that one person. So that if we just, to use a Buddhist proverb, tend to the area of the garden that we could reach, the garden could really blossom. And if everybody just took care of their own garden in a small way, imagine how huge the impact could be. So I want to help people, just condense and really start to think about the shifts that they can create in their own lives, but how those shifts can really radically impact the way they show up in the world and the way that their community and their circles of influence and all the people in it can function and be better for it.